Slam goes the door. And good afternoon. We are in This is Private Practice. We've made it to Thursday. So I'm running a little bit later than I usually do of an afternoon. So I appreciate the people living in the Northern Hemisphere may be sound asleep by now going, Joe's not turning up today. So a very funny thing happened today. I turned up half an hour early to my tax planning meeting, which ended up running half an hour late. Whoopsie. Hey, Linda Mottram, lovely to see you today. So I find that really amusing because the last few weeks since I started feeling quite unwell again, the noise in my head has been the constant churning of there's not enough time, there's not enough time, there's not enough time, there's not enough time. I've talked about this a little bit before today. So I find it incredibly amusing that I have been so focused on the tasks that I've set myself and the time I've given myself to complete said tasks that I would gift myself a full 30 minutes of just sitting still in a waiting room today because I had turned up 30 minutes early to an appointment. That did my head in until I was able to reframe it, practice some deep breathing exercises, and enjoy the fact that I was an accountant and they were feeding me chocolate, but they were gold-covered chocolate coins. It was very cool. Hey, Beck McMurray, lovely to see you. How are you after your time on the Gold Coast last week? So I wanted to talk a little bit more into this whole head trash thing that we get going on, because I woke up this morning and my thoughts today were, I'm bad at this. I shouldn't be a business owner. People are relying on me to give them good advice. Imposter. I'm never going to be good enough. Nobody knows what's really going on. They don't see the churning in my stomach. They don't understand how hard it is. I feel like I'm failing. I'm a fraud, all of that rubbish. Now, I know I'm not alone with this, and I know that it gets talked about a little bit, but I want to help you understand that those thoughts, they're not rational. And that's usually because I have been not looking after my thoughts in other ways. So I had a poor night's sleep. I've been feeling pressured around things that I feel like I'm running late on. And I was feeling incredibly burdened yesterday afternoon because I had given myself a really good chunk of time to complete a training session for my 5 Favorite People program. It was new content, it was revised content, and I had a whole new slide deck. PowerPoint crashed on me 4 times. So what usually takes me 2 hours to complete, took me nearly 4. And then every time I went to upload it to YouTube for presentation, my internet would cut out. And then almost got to the point where we had it uploaded and then YouTube crashed. So I was having one of those days yesterday. So I didn't know how to fix that stuff. I just turn things off and turn them on again and turn things off and turn them on again. But we have these days. We have these days where it feels like nothing we do is good enough, nothing we do is right, and the frustration that we feel becomes exponential. And then for me, it's led into this early morning wake up thing that I did today where I was feeling fraudulent and feeling imposter-ish, feeling like I wasn't good enough, which I haven't let settle today. Fortunately, I had some really awesome ladies around me this morning. I had my Accelerate Your Practice Mastermind group this morning, and we are a really cool bunch of ladies at the moment. And well, we're a really cool bunch of ladies. And it was great for me to be able to just go, this is my vulnerability piece. This is what I'm dealing with this morning. I know if I just get it out, it'll be finished and gone, and I'll realize how ridiculous it sounds, and we can move on, which we did. And it was great. So the perspective piece for me is I can't often fix that stuff myself. I need to externalize it. I'm not good at that. You might think, but you get on Facebook and you're vulnerable with us all the time. I'm vulnerable with you to a point. But for me to be able to acknowledge that I've got this stuff wrapping itself around in my brain, these thoughts wrapping themselves around in my brain that are not helping my physiology, because I can assure you that any extra stress in my body at the moment results in me feeling pretty darn feral. But it allowed me to externalize it and hear myself, not just the thoughts in my head, which sounded very authentic and credible, Joe, you are fraudulent. You are an imposter. Who are you to speak about this stuff? Was how the thoughts were being expressed by my head. But when I spoke it out loud, I heard myself saying these things going, oh, that is just ridiculous. Oh, that is just rubbish. Oh my gosh, what makes you so special to think that this is an issue that only you get to deal with, Joe? And fortunately, I have these wonderful ladies in my world who I could share that with, who were able to go, you're right, Joe, that sounds ridiculous. Can we move on now? So we didn't need to give it any more attention than it needed. I've processed it really well, so I can actually go and give myself 30 minutes of time in the afternoon and feel quite okay about it. But it also gave me time, that 30 minutes today gave me time to really reflect on how much I'm trying to squeeze into my time again. And this has been a constant struggle for me since I think I was a teenager. I don't remember never not being like this. So if I've used this analogy before, if a minute was a balloon, I would fit more and more and more into that balloon until it went bang. So I've started doing that again, and I've got to look at and be really diligent about what can I take out? What are the only things that I can be doing? What are the things that require the strategic thoughts of me? And what are the only things that I can do to drive my business forward while looking after myself? Because we know what happens if we don't look after ourselves. Ta-da! You feel messy when you try and come back to work. That's just not very pleasant. So, encouraging words for you today. If you've got head trash self-talk going on, then yay, you're a human. Try speaking that out loud to yourself and see how it really sounds, because it probably is a tad ridiculous. And if you want to give your friends and trusted colleagues a bit of a laugh, get them on the phone or have a FaceTime call with them and go, hey, can I let you in on the conversation that I'm having with myself in my head today? Then you can give it a little bit of levity, brevity, make it a little bit humorous for yourself. You can reframe what's going on for yourself and realize, you know what, this is the sort of stuff that anybody who cares about their work is going through. So if that is the most important thing you hear today, then please take that away. If you get caught up feeling like you're not good enough, if you get caught up feeling like you're an imposter, if you get caught up feeling like you haven't got anything to say, that is usually because you care that much about the work you do. I don't think anybody has ever died from shame and embarrassment. I pretty much thought at 7 o'clock this morning that was my lot in life, that something I was going to do, something that would result in me dying from shame and embarrassment. But no, don't think that can happen. So, mental blank, coming back, finding my words again. If you really care about what it is that you do, you are always going to be looking for ways to make sure you're delivering on your integrity, you're delivering on your excellence, and you're making sure you're delivering for your people. So there we go. There's the best reframe. It's not manipulative. It's not lying. You care. That's why you feel like you're not good enough. You care. That's why you feel like you're an imposter. Doesn't give us permission to stay there, but I just want you to understand the root of that thing. So thank you, Joe, inside of her head, for caring about being a good quality coach, for being a quality rehab counselor, for caring about your staff, for caring about your team members, for caring about your clients, for wanting to do an excellent job, for realizing that some spelling mistakes do matter. So thank you, Joe, for all of that you've got going on for you right now. So for the rest of you, I wish you a happy evening, morning, afternoon. Thank you, Beck. I'm assuming that you have appreciated what I've had to say today, from one overachiever to another. I'm looking forward to connecting with you tomorrow afternoon. We are going to have things to celebrate. It's going to be a Friday. I'm focused on celebrating. I am looking forward to sharing that with you. Until then, go and be your awesome self.